Okay, so I want to circle back to like your teaching style in the classroom because I resonate so much with what you said. I also use a document camera when I teach. I also use like a shell of the notes that we fill in together. I do get a lot of benefit just from like looking at my students' expressions as they're working on their problems instead of turning my back to them because, that's prime opportunity for them to, be on their phones. I don't know if you've noticed this. Some of my students are not taking notes, but after I've written something up, they'll just take a picture of it. I'm like, are you ever going back to look at that picture? But I do like that you're like kind of letting your students know that you know them and you are invested in their success. So you will call them out and ask them, how are you feeling about this? Because it looks like you have a question. You should ask your
Now,
question.
I will say that's only something I can do because I'm at a small school. My classes are never bigger than 30. Obviously, if you're in a lecture hall with 100 students, like when I was at Georgia Tech, you can't do that. So at Georgia Tech, I got most of my connections from the grad students who were the teaching assistants. In fact, my professors didn't speak to me at all. But what really made me to start being successful at a school like that was joining a study group, finding the community that studied after class. I was doing horribly in my classes. And I was studying and I had the book. I didn't know why. And I go to the library one day and I found out my entire class would be in there rifling through every old exam this professor ever wrote called Word. They'd be in there in the Word. But nobody, because I came from Spelman, I was new and they'd already been together for 2 or 3 years. No one ever thought to tell that there was a secret sauce that I wasn't getting. So I would tell my students, absolutely, I'm here for you. But the other thing you have to remember about me is after 20 years, I don't always remember what it was like not to understand this anymore. I've now said it so many times that it doesn't connect with me that you just don't get it. So sometimes it's better for you to go talk to that kid in your class who just figured it out last week. And I will also tell them that's not always the 4.0 student. A 4.0 student is not always the best person at explaining. They sometimes are not even all that approachable or friendly. Go find you a good B or C student. Yeah. Somebody who clawed their way up to that grade, because they can tell you way better than I can sometimes in a language that you understand. I don't mind you coming to office hours and talking to me. I'm there for that. But your community, your friends, peer tutors, we have tutors who are still in school and your age, that may resonate better with you. So understanding that there's more than one way to get there and more than one way to use those resources. Some things I have done in the past that I don't do as much anymore. I used to do paired quiz completion, where basically you give them a quiz and 2 of them together can work on it. 1 week, one person writes and the other tells them what to write. The next week they swap out. I've done that. I've also done paired problem solving, where I then walk around the room and give hints. Because I'm now more of the advanced classes, I don't do a lot of that anymore. In labs, they have lab partners, but I now have also some classes drifted to individual labs where you can work with a friend, but everybody has their own setup in front of them. And the reason I've done that is because although we really promote teamwork and that's important, when they get to the lab practical and it's an individual grade, I understood that sometimes one person was over reliant on the other. And I'd be in the middle of the lab practical and have someone crying, literally sitting there crying because they don't know how to turn anything on. They don't know how to build anything. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with that no more. So this quarter, I did something different. I said, you're all doing the lab by yourself, but you can talk to your friend, but you build together. And I had to start that because every class has a lab and I can't let you leave this one and go into the next one and you can't do anything because you were so dependent on your buddy who was stronger at this than you were.
Yeah, the first time you complete a full lab by yourself shouldn't be at the practical.
Yeah, that's a lifetime. I'm telling you, I couldn't take it. And I'm not just talking about female students. I don't have that many female students, but I have had male and females in tears. And I'd be like, baby, I can't deal with the crying. So I tell you what, let's head you off at the pass and take 9 weeks to get you there instead of the day of the practical. Can you teach me this? Not right now, baby. I don't teach during tests. Teach time is over.
Yeah.
Right. Same way when they miss class, they come later. Did I miss anything important? I said, if my mouth was talking, it was important. Don't ever walk in here and ask me, did you miss anything important? And the other thing is it's going to happen is I'm not about to teach you what you missed in class because you overslept. But you can definitely go watch the YouTube videos and you can take notes. And then if you have a question, you can come see me. But that drives, don't ever ask me, did I miss anything important? If I showed up, it was important.